Alright, it is the Average Gamer Guy with another Feed the Beast episode. The last time we were working on getting a system set up for some seed oil production and some biofuel production, and we were mostly there. I just had a couple little issues to sort out as far as getting it to me over here. And what we ended up doing is this is a wooden pipe now with a little autarkic gate that's just set to constantly pulse. I guess it doesn't have to be an AND gate, that's what I had, so I stuck it there. And that seems to have solved, well, I don't know if that solved the problem, or if turning off this output seems to also have caused a bit of a problem. So I could probably get rid of that now. I don't particularly have a need for it, so I just haven't bothered breaking it to pick it up. What else? Oh, we sort of reconfigured the whole scenario over there. Stuff just wasn't connecting quite right. So yeah, it took me a little while, but I redid that whole system. Well, I didn't redo the whole system. I redid the fermenter. I now have 4 fermenters because it just wasn't getting it done. It sort of feels like a couple fermenters could feed each still instead of the other way around. So here's our new setup. So lots of stuff. So what happens is it still goes in there, and there are no seeds in there, so that's why there are no seeds flowing over here to our squeezers, which are empty, which is a little depressing. But this stuff, the wheat, is flowing into this chest, and it's keeping it relatively full. And then what happens, these are routers, and I don't think I actually showed. The router is a pretty easy thing to make. It just requires some dark iron, and you remember we got a whole bunch of that when I burned that iron of dark iron. An ender pearl, an eye of ender, which is just an ender pearl, and a blaze powder, and for some reason an egg. That makes a router. Oh, yeah, it's because these are interchangeable. You can put them on either side. That's why there's 2. I was trying to figure that out. So we have 2 of those, and then what happens is this one up here is set to extract, and then it also has this ejector upgrade, which is just some more dark iron, any wooden plank, some stone, a pressure plate, and a piston. And what that does is it lets it extracts from this chest into the router, and then it lets it eject it directly below, which happens to be another router, which is set to insert into slot 0, which is this slot for a fermenter. And the way a router works is it looks at any connected inventory. So this is connected to that, but this is connected to that, that's connected to that, so it forms a network. So all 4 of these are all connected to each other and connected to this router, so this router can see all 4 of them, and it can go ahead and throw stuff into any of the inventories. And it doesn't seem to quite be doing it correctly. It's kind of hard to tell. I think it's actually fermenting that stuff, but it doesn't seem like it is because it doesn't have... Well, yeah, I mean, there goes the biofuel, so it must be. It's just, it's weird because it, like, as soon as it uses... It must be that 4 of them are using the wheat at exactly the rate that that thing is taking it, so you don't actually see it, maybe. But they're slowly filling these up. So I guess all 4 of them technically will eventually outpace these 4. But that's okay. So anyway, that's our new setup. This was the same. Underneath, what I did was I just rerouted the water, so the water goes there. The reason power is behind, by the way. And the reason I had to go the router route is because, let's say I needed to have another piping for the inventory. Well, where is that going to connect? Like, you can't really connect to the front, and so I'd have to space these out every other slot. Well, that becomes pretty tedious. And then you run into a lot of things connected in between, and then you're trying to service both. Just a lot of issues. So that's what we ended up doing, and it's working. There's our biofuel tank. Obviously, we're not quite up to even the valve yet, but 35,000. I think that's 35 buckets of biofuel. That's not bad. Not. It's only been running for, I don't know, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe an hour. For an hour, that's not very good, but we're also going ahead and grabbing some ruby. We're smashing up some rubies in our pulverizer, and we're going to start electrolyzing them because we want some chrome. I kind of want to upgrade these again because I need to start making, well, what I would like to make is a macerator. And I guess I could do it and just use 3 diamonds instead of that. Yeah, I should probably just do that. Especially since I have nearly a stack of diamonds. What I was trying to do was go ahead and make this wolframium one. Just because it takes steel, but then the tungsten, you have to have the upgraded industrial furnace to even smelt the tungsten. So that's kind of annoying. But I can just use the 3 diamonds, and I don't think I have... Oh, in case you're wondering, it did occur to me that I kept having those issues that I think I've mentioned where the plates were not showing up correctly. And it finally occurred to me that if I really wanted to fix that, I should probably go ahead and grab the newest... Maybe they've updated the texture pack, which they had. So this is the newer Sortex fan ever, which is why it now has the plate. Let's see, if I go to the, it's got steel plate, it's got, let's get the wolframium, tungsten plate, steel plating. These are the plate vendor recipes that it never had before, and then a lot of the machine textures have changed, so it's a little darker and a little not as happy fun futuristic and a little more industrial dark futuristic. But alright, so I have my macerator, but I don't have anywhere to really put it right now. Let me figure out where I'm going to stick this thing, and then I'll be back. Alright, so I guess we're just going to go ahead and stick it right here as well. Just because, again, I'm not going to need it super often, I don't think. But we're going to go ahead and throw some netherrack in there. Macerators will grind up netherrack into nether dust. Pulverizers will not. So that's an important distinction. But yeah, if we get some... We're just going to let that chug through and get us some netherrack dust. So I could overclock that. Do I have any overclockers left? I don't think I do. I think I used them all. Oh, I do have a couple. See what happens if I overclock it. Oh, and these are still ones that you can actually take out. So I'll just go ahead and put all 4 in there and see if that works. Yeah. Cool. Looks like it's using a tiny bit of power, maybe? Nope. Just watching. If this starts to go down, that means it's using so much energy every tick that the incoming energy cannot... It's more than the incoming energy provides. So it's using its internal reserves and will eventually run out and stop. But this looks like it's doing pretty well. So yeah, we're going to let that run, and when it's done, I'll be back. Alright, we've got our 64 netherrack dust. Our electrolyzer is waiting on more ruby, which I think I already threw in over there. But we're going to go to the centrifuge and centrifuge some netherrack dust. And that's going to give us some cool stuff. It's going to give us some Let's see, I think I get gold and redstone and sulfur and... You know, I don't remember what the other thing is. I found it by trying to find sulfur. I think I want that one. Yeah. Oh, coal dust. That's it. So 16 netherrack dust, 4 sulfur, some gold nugget, a redstone, and some coal dust. Which is cool because I need sulfur anyway, so that would be... Oops, not that. I've been trying to get some sulfur because I have a bunch of aluminum and I could light... I'll show you. I've done a decent job of lighting up this little area to try and stop monsters from randomly happening, but the aluminum torches are a little better. And I would like to use those, but I don't have any sulfur to make sulfur torches so that I can then turn them into aluminum torches. So there we go. And that is Zycraft aluminum. Put this back. So, alright, that's cooking up. We're working on getting some chrome going. And throw that in the electrolyzer. And we're going to need a fair amount of it. And what else are we going to need? We're going to need, I think it's advanced machine casings. We're also going to need highly advanced machine blocks. It's going to require chrome plates and titanium plates. Man. Alright, and it's also going to require these data control circuits, which are going to require iridium. Oof, this is a rough recipe. Well, maybe we're not going to get that. Because iridium at this point pretty much shuts me down, because I don't have a matter fabricator, and iridium is pretty rare. I still don't have any of that. Wow. It also looks like I think my quarry might be done. I've also briefly considered building an additional quarry. Right now I'm considering having the world generate around me. That would be good. Alright, I'll give it a second, and I'm going to go move my quarry. And I will be back. Alright, so in the middle of doing all of the rest of this stuff, I happen to have... I'm going to need a bunch of rack lights for my new home. So, which, you know, it's coming along. I've got the first layer done. You can see it's not small. So I'm obviously going to need a lot of rack lights to light that. So I have a bunch more iron to turn in to dark iron, and I decided, since I'm going to have to resculpt this little area over here anyway, I would go ahead and show what happens when you do this, and there is stuff that can burn around it. So this will be fun. First, I suppose as a precaution, let's be smart about this, and grab some buckets of water. I don't think it's going to get super out of hand, but just in case, I do want to be prepared. Oh, look. Wait a minute. I believe that is iridium. I'm going to have to come back with a rock, the rock thing I made, and get that. Alright. And fire. So far, not too bad. Now the fire is spreading. That's a lot of stuff to burn. We're getting some dark iron. This is still that wrath fire. The regular fire hasn't actually started yet. But like I said, I don't really know how bad this is actually going to get. Okay, there's some fires. But I've seen multiple people say or write, oh, don't make sure you do this in a small area, and don't do it where you could light things on fire. This doesn't really even seem that bad. Like, there's trees and grass and stuff all around here. None of it caught on fire. Yeah. Now it's totally out. There's nothing left. So there you go. It apparently almost doesn't even matter where you do this. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and finish... Oh, it didn't cook the interior ones? Well, I'll light them up. Anyway, alright, I'm going to mine all this, and then I'll be back. Alright, so now that we have a bunch of dark iron, I'm placing a bunch of wrath lamps, and I also took a second to go ahead and make the iron tank to store my liquid DNA for the bees. And it's the biggest one you can build, a 9x9 by 8. So 9 long, 9 wide, 8 tall. Holds about 10,360,000 millibuckets. So about not too bad. Right now it's barely even full at all. I actually need to go throw some more bees into my gene pool here. And for now, we just have a nice little wooden pipe in, autarkic, wooden pipe out with an autarkic. And as I line up the other machines we'll be using, I'll just go ahead and I'll probably start them here and just connect pipes going this way so that they connect. Let's see. Okay, we're out of bees there. How are we doing over here? A lot of bees. Are there bees that I don't particularly need a lot of? Let's go ahead and throw... what do we have over here? The Valiant we can get rid of. I don't care about those. The Rockies I want to save because Rocky drones, or Rocky period, have some pretty good qualities on them. They work indoors, they work at night. It's pretty handy. Yeah, for now we'll just throw those guys in there and let those spin up. What we're hoping is that I'll be getting a whole... Yeah, like I have 45 Imperial drones sitting in here. You know, eventually we're just going to start to get, like, more than stacks of those. And that's what we'll be looking for. Pretty sure all of these don't have very much. Yeah. Well, I mean, like I have 3 of these that are slower workers with a short life, normal workers with a short life, slow workers with a short life. I wonder why, can those stack? I wonder why those can't stack. I don't know, we're going to get rid of both of those because we have a faster worker. So, yep, just chucking bees in there to fill it up. And then I'm also going around and putting some more torches down because I still have some areas near my base that can spawn monsters. And I'm just kind of sick of it, so just got a little area over here I still need to cover. And then I should be somewhat free of monsters in the immediate vicinity of my base. And I'm also installing wrath lamps over in the new section. So, after I'm done with that, we'll be back and back to building some more stuff. Alright, to go along with some of the work we've been doing on bees, I made some apiarist machines so far. And that is simply a sturdy casing, which is a box of bronze, some copper, and some redstone. What we're going to make now are a genetic machine, which is the basic circuit board, which is a carpenter, is iron, just like this, and then one single redstone right here. So just these 2 slots are empty, and a carpenter with water, and that will make you the basic circuit boards. I have left my basic circuit boards in my Carpenter, so let me go do that. Never good to leave your materials. Grab those. So the idea of just sort of leaving that Carpenter up there and not connecting it to water and filling it with buckets, super annoying, because I just refilled it. Not a fun deal. Alright, so our basic circuit boards go in the bottom, and the Lapis goes in the top, and the APS machine goes in the middle. APS machines don't actually do anything on their own, they're only just components. But they get us a genetic machine. So there's our 3 genetic machines. Now we don't want genetic machines, we want advanced genetic machines. I don't even know if you can make anything with a genetic machine other than an advanced genetic machine. Oh, you can. You can make a gene pool. And a splicer, and a sequencer. And that's it. Interesting. Well, this is what we're going to make, an advanced genetic machine. So we need 6 gold each, and a diamond, and an enhanced circuit board, which is going to be bronze. So we need... Is it this one that has bronze? No, it must be this one. No. One of these has bronze in it. Should have 10 bronze sitting in... There it is. And the rest was gold. Or was it redstone? It's redstone. But I am going to need a bunch of gold. So let me just grab a stack of that. So let's head back up to that Carpenter. And we will clear this recipe out. Put some more of that in. And then our bronze will go there, and we'll just throw that down. It's already got the water. And we will get ourselves some of those. Now, while that's cooking up, what else am I going to need here? That's just the gold and some diamonds. Okay, that's not too bad. So we'll just let this cook. It looks like it takes not a small amount of water to make those. It's maybe a... I don't know, is that a bucket maybe? I think probably each of those ticks is probably a bucket. It seems like that would make sense. Anyway, there's our 3 enhanced circuit boards. So we come back down here. We need 3 diamonds, and we have our circuit boards, our genetic machines, our diamond, and 6 gold to get 3 advanced genetic machines. Now, one of the things I want to make with an advanced genetic machine is an isolator. So I'm going to need some blaze rods and an emerald. Actually, I'm going to need 3 emeralds. Are those my emeralds? Yeah. 3. And 4 blaze rods. So let's go ahead and put our genetic machine, blaze rods, I think it was a redstone, and then 3 emeralds. Yep, there's our isolator. Now, the isolator is one of the things we want. We also want a synthesizer, which is 2 tanks, some soul sand, I don't know that I have tanks. I think I have a tank. No, I do have 2 tanks. And what was the other? A piece of glass and a redstone. Redstone or glass? There. I'll just make it in here. So glass, redstone, advanced genetic machine, tank, and some soul sand. That gets us a synthesizer. And the last one we wanted to make was a purifier. And that's going to be, oh, some gas tiers and some more tanks. Well, there's our 4 tanks. I'm pretty sure we only have 1 gas tier. None there. no gas tiers here or here. The only other place they might be is over here in Thaumcraft room. Oh, there's one. We have one gas tier. Alright, so let me go get some more of those, and then I will be back, because that's going through the Neither, and I don't know that you guys really want to watch me fly around and shoot ghasts, so I'll go do that, and then I'll be back. Alright, so after a visit to the Neither, I have a couple of ghast tiers, a ton more glowstone, and I am also electrolyzing some pyrite dust to get iron and sulfur. So that's always fun. Alright, so the reason I needed the gas tiers... Oh man, I forgot the gas tier that was up here. In here, there. Alright, so now I've got my 3 gas tiers. Hopefully that aerial faceplate is not super loud on the playback. And I am making I have a synthesizer, an isolator. I need a purifier. 4 tanks and a redstone. Tank. No. Is it over here? Somewhere I built some tanks, I think. There we go. Tank. And a redstone. And my advanced genetic machine. And my 3 gas tiers. Give me a purifier. Alright, so I have the main 3 machines I need genetically, but I forgot. Oh, wait a minute. What am I doing? I don't need waterproof. I need some liquiducts. That's what I should use. That way they won't connect. Let's see. Oh, they will connect. Well, that's not what we want. Come off of there. Give me that. Alright, fair enough. Let's put the liquiducts back and get, I guess, some golden waterproof pipes. Wait a minute. What are those? Cobblestone waterproof pipes. Yeah, let's get those. Save the gold. I don't really... Speed is not really an issue. Because these are just going to keep the stuff stocked, so... not really an issue. Alright, and so what we want is we want the isolator, and then the synthesizer, and then the purifier, I believe. That's the order I would like that in. Let me just... synthesizer, and then the purifier. And I'm gonna need some... oops, need some redstone. Might be time for me to make a wireless deal so I can access that without having to go down to it. Let's see. Let's do that, but let's do it smartly. There's that. This and that, and another. Nope, and there. They should all be getting power. Yep, and they are. Slowly but surely. And all I need to do is go ahead and tell this autarkic gate to pump out liquid DNA, or DNA, and that'll be good. This thing has chugged through. This has... let's see, some more stuff to get rid of. I don't really care about all these common drones. I do want the Rockies. Meadows I don't really care about. Marshy, common. That'll sort of let us clean up also a little bit of what's going on. Why don't you go in there? There we go. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and melt down some of these bees, and I will be back when we're done. So, while I continue working on the larger facility I would like to move into, I'm also intermittently coming over and still messing around with bees. Bees are definitely not a short process. So now that we have all this stuff going, you know, we're melting down bees. We're slowly but surely adding to our liquid DNA. I've got a squeezer squeezing honey to give us some liquid honey that I'm just piping straight over into a Fermenter, where I have just recently set up the recipe to start making some scented paneling so that we can quickly get to alvearies. You can see it's just 3 wood, a royal jelly, that's not a golden nugget, it's a royal jelly, and a pollen, and a couple of beeswax. So that's why you need the Imperial and the Industrious. One of them produces the pollen, the other produces the royal jelly, and that's what you need to get to get the scented paneling, which will let you start to create the alvearies, which are way more efficient and better than these guys. Let's see. How do you, now that we've gotten to that point, a quick overview of how you get to it would be, and you can find a lot of different things that will sort of tell you how to do this, but you sort of want to get 2 of the regular old bees that come out of hives, the couple generic bees, and you breed them together, and they make a queen, and you'll eventually get a common. It'll probably be a common something, like a marbled common, or that's a meadows common, I think. Or you could just get some other random combinations, but basically you want to get common, and you want to get a straight common. Once you have a straight common princess, then you take the common princess and you combine her back with one of the generic bee species. And you breed those together in one of your apiaries, and eventually you'll get, after common is, I think, cultivated. And then once you get a pure cultivated princess, you take a pure cultivated princess and a common bee, and you breed them together, and then they'll make you a noble or a majestic, or you can get diligent, and you just keep breeding them up the tree, and they always breed, well, not always, they usually breed the new one you just got combined with the previous one that you had just had will get you the next step. So it's kind of like a little stair-step pattern. And then eventually, once you get up there, it starts to be like this weird one and that weird one combined. But that's bees. You know, we're progressing. You also get just a ton of flowers with this. Well, not a ton, but you get a lot of flowers. So that's another good side benefit. We are certainly well stocked, I think, for where we are. We're just chugging through that scented paneling. That'll be good, because we'll be making a lot of those, and I think they're like 10 times faster, I think is the statistic I read, 10 times faster than these. Plus they have additional blocks where, like the soul sand, every time you breed 2 different versions together and you get a new one, that's called a mutation, and the soul sand, I think, is like a 1.5% increase in the mutation rate, the natural mutation rate. I don't know what the natural one is, but it's not very high. So 1.5% increase is not that great. But with the alveary, it has a block called the mutator, and it lets you put other things in there that can increase it by 8 or 10 or 15 or 50%, which is great, because then it's just like you're guaranteed a mutation every time. So there are also some other blocks to adjust for temperature and humidity and that kind of stuff. And And we'll get into that, but that's where we're going. I'm going to continue working on my little guy down there, I think. So I will be back. Alright, I think that's going to pretty much wrap it up. I'm just putting some wrath lamps up here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. That should do it. And of course I have the monster spawn thing turned on so I can see. And that does in fact stop monsters from spawning all across here, which is what I'm looking for. So that's cool. So I'm going to continue putting these up. You can see I've taken care of all of that. And we're just going to continue doing the pattern for all of that. And we'll see how far we get before I have to make some more wrath lamps. But that'll be another episode. So this has been the Average Gamer Guy doing Feed the Beast Minecraft. Have a nice day.